Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 13 July 2023. Coming to you tonight from our camp in eastern Pennsylvania as we do a long weekend trail ride. But a Thursday night cannot go by without a knife sale, whether I'm home or on vacation. So a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual, and there will be some interesting points pertinent to the fact that I'm not at the shop this weekend, so do please listen. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one, the most pertinent if you are looking to purchase a knife or more tonight, is the first link to my Primer for Buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. It explains in great detail how we do things and why on this weekly sales event. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're a seller interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, that video explains how this all works from the consignors end of things. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the all-important video description at the top, you'll see those 3 links. Then in the middle, the terms of the sale. At the bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you'll generally see 2 numbers. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the sale video. The one on the right is as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week as I am out of town. But the good news is our sharpening backlog is pretty low, so expect your sharpened knife to ship in 3 weeks, maybe less. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that right-hand column, that means the particular knife you're looking at has been sold, bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it on anything marked sold. Okay, I believe that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? We have a long way to go tonight. First up, we're going to work through a couple leftovers from last week, and they will be screaming deals. The first thing we have is this flashlight from Mechforce. It is the Mechtorch Gen 2. Full titanium barrel, beautifully milled. Kind of a dark stonewash finish. Milled titanium pocket clip. And then in this area we have a bunch of, looks like orange and purple tritium tubes that will help you find your flashlight before you turn it on in the dark. We have 3 LED emitters. It takes an 18350 battery. It has 3 3/8 inches of overall length. We'll call it near mint, no box, not really a mark on it that I can see. And check the Mechforce website for specs on this thing, but it is a torch. They go for $225 web retail We ran this last week at $165. Didn't sell on Thursday. We dropped it to $140 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $125. And when my consignor approved that price reduction, he said somebody is getting a screaming deal on that light. I would agree. That's the Mechforce Mechtorch Gen 2 flashlight. Next up, okay guys, I know it's Christmas in July, but we need to be thinking about Christmas in December, especially if you got a brother-in-law that, let's say, you're not super fond of. Yeah, here you go. Or maybe there's two brother-in-laws that you don't, love that much. Here you go. It's CRKT time. This will be in your inventory as the CRKT combo. It features a squid and a buku. Okay. Let's see. I think both of these are designed by the same guy. Let's see who yeah, Lucas Burnley. So this is the squid, the 2490 GK squid, black wash blade and frame. It is a stainless steel frame lock, black G10 scale. The pivot is going to be nylon washers, thumb stud deployment, right hand tip up deep carry clip, blade steel is 8CR13 MOV, rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. Centering's pretty good. Might favor the lock side as it's adjusted right now. Action's just fine. Those sell brand new for $30. Then you've got the 2460 Buku, also a stainless steel frame lock knife. This one's kind of a chunk. Again, right hand tip up deep carry clip. Pretty nicely finished blade. Bidirectional satin, hologround primary bevel. Also 8CR13 MOV, 3 3/4 a blade, 4 3/4 a handle. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Very nice smooth action. Nice blade centering. Both of these are going to be near mint in box. You could certainly gift them and no one would be the wiser. So let's see. The squid is out of stock at $30 web retail. The buku is out of stock at $45 retail. That's $75. We ran the pair last week for $50, dropped them to $40 for the weekend. Let's do, are you ready for this? $30 for 2 knives shipped priority mail. So that's $20 after I pay for postage. It's $10 a knife, guys. Certainly you got a brother-in-law worthy of that. That is the CRKT combo. Next up, we have one from Vosteed. Comes with an outer sleeve, an inner tin. The model we're looking at is the LAB31 M4 Labrador. Pretty nice, light, large-ish pocket knife. You got a 5-inch handle, stainless steel lined in green canvas micarta. You've got nice gold anodized pivot collars. You got a deep carry clip that's going to be right hand only. Thumb studs or flipper. There's the flipper. There's the studs. Ball bearing pivot. Blade steel is 154 cm. Blade length is 3 11/16. Kind of a good looking drop point. There is your lock engagement on the stainless steel liner. Lockup's rock solid. Super smooth blade, ball bearing pivot of course. Beautiful centering. The condition is like new in the box. These are out of stock. Some websites are listing a pre-order at $84. We ran this one last week at $65. Didn't sell, dropped it to $55 for the weekend. Still here. This week, $45. Like it is $70 with an ApostleP edge, and there will be no price drop on this knife. It does $45 or it goes home. That's the Vosteed Labrador. Next up, we have Spydercos in the leftover column. Yes, this one is going to be from Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It's a pair of 3 lightweight in orange and XHP, CTS XHP. That means it's a Cutlery Shop exclusive. And they're sold out. So we have your orange Volcano Grip FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon. We've got an ambidextrous tip up deep carry paperclip clip. We've got a blade of CTS XHP, DLC coated. Lockup is dead solid. Action not quite a free dropper, but pretty good. And I think the centering on this one is just a little off to the right as you're looking at it. Condition is like new in the box. Of course, they're discontinued. They're out of stock. Rumor has it they're not doing any more XHP steel. So, sold listings on eBay between 151 and 200. We ran this last week at 190, dropped it to 180 for the weekend. This week, there will be no price drop from this figure, guys. This is it. 170 like it is, 195 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight Orange DLC XHP. Next up, we have another Spyderco, and our last leftover. Nope, we got one more leftover. This one is a Shaman. This particular Shaman is the Blade Ops exclusive with the satin finished or blasted gray G10 handle. Tumble polished clip, 4-way positionable, compression lock, and that beefy workhorse of a blade, this time in Elmax. Rock solid lockup. Free dropping blade. And perfect blade centering. Let's see. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available at Blade Ops, they were $235. Country Knives picked some up and then retailed them at $320, and they're sold out. eBay sold listings $291 to $379. We ran this last week at $290. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $265 for the weekend. It's still here. Your last and final price for this, no Saturday price drop, will be forthcoming. $245 like it is. $275 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Spyderco Shaman Gray Satin Elmax. Next up, we've got something here from Luminox. I'm kind of shocked this didn't sell last week. It comes in an expanded styrofoam outer sleeve. Then we have an inner cardboard sleeve. And then we've got a Pelican style box. All that housing a watch. The hang tag on this Luminox product says the model is XS3503NSF. That's a 3503 Navy SEALs Foundation. So as I understand it, these were sold new, and some of the proceeds went to support the Navy SEALs Foundation. So here's the watch. I think this might be the best looking Navy SEAL Luminox I've seen, with the blue dial, the orange accents. 46mm case, 51 lug to lug, 14 thick, and a 24mm lug width. And the strap that comes on these is a piece of beautiful work. It's a rubber strap of some compound, double pin buckle, one fixed keeper, one floating keeper. It is, of course, a Swiss quartz movement, dated 3. Tritium tubes abound everywhere. You have a 60 click. Oh, is that right? Yeah, 60 click unidirectional bezel. Pretty nice action. Lines up pretty well. I believe these have a mineral crystal. Now this has, I believe, 200 meters of depth rating. Did I see it somewhere? Yes. And a screw down crown. which many Luminox watches that have 200-meter water depth ratings do not have screw-down crowns. This one does. Let's see. I believe you can find these for about $2.99 web retail. Right now, we ran this last week at $195, didn't sell, dropped it to $175 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $160 on this one. That's the Luminox SS3503 NSF Quartz Navy SEALs watch. Next up, it is big boy knife time. We have a great American knife from a great American company, Bear & Son, and it is a big old fixed blade, and it's kind of a honey, I gotta say, and it's made in the good old United States of America. It is the Bear & Son Freedom Fighting Bowie. Comes in a pretty nicely made basket weave embossed leather sheath with a D-ring and a dangle. Nice cross snap. Look at that. Look at that. So this is a 9 3/16 inch blade. Pretty doggone nicely ground and finished. D2 tool steel. That's just a sheath mark. Nice etch. Pretty dang nice work, guys. Brass guard, brass pommel, but look, full tang design. If that's not Cocobolo, it sure looks like it. Not really sure that they specified what kind of wood that is, but sure looks good. Backing up that big old blade is a handle 5 7/8 inches long. Nice palm swell. I'll call it near mint to like new in box. Price of these brand new on the web is $155. This one can be yours $125 all in, shipped priority mail. $160 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. But the factory edge, it's pretty average. Okay, that is the Bear & Son Freedom Fighting Bowie. Next up, everybody needs one of these. If you don't have one, you need one. From Cold Steel, it is the Talwar 4-inch blade. This series got so confusing between, medium, large, XL, XXL. Nobody knew what was what, so they call it the Talwar 4-inch blade, which isn't actually 4 inches. The thing that makes this one special is that right there, CTS XHP, and a full serrated blade. Opens with a Emerson waveable thumb plate. It is a triad lock knife, and that 4-inch blade, by the way, 3 13/16. Oh, I've always loved how Cold Steel measures. They measure their blade length like a husband measures, who has masculinity security issues. Anyway, you got a 5 7/16 handle with tons of real estate for a variety of grips. The coarse pattern G10, ambidextrous tip-up clips. The lefty clip is in the box. It looks like we got a little scuff on the clip there. I bet you the lefty clip is pristine. Lockup's rock solid. Action's nice. Centering's down the middle. Condition, we will say near mint in box. Now, the XHP Talwars are gone forever, it looks like. The S35VN version is $190 web retail. We're going to do this one at $115 like it is. No need to sharpen that serrated edge. That's the Cold Steel Talwar 4-inch. Next up, an interesting knife from Maxace. Maxace Knives Company. What's funny about this? Look at that. Made in China. The Maxace Rock MRK05. Here it is. This is a large knife. So what we got here is a titanium frame lock knife. No, we don't. We have a titanium liner lock knife. Or is it? I think I magnet checked that locking leaf, and those liners are steel. So no need for an insert. Locks up thusly. Cool trailing point Persian blade shape in M390, beautifully stonewashed. Nice looking thumb studs. Those look like titanium, and they looks like one piece pressed. Very nice presentation in hand. The clip is also steel, I believe. Can be right hand tip up. Blade length on the rock 3 13/16. Handle is 5 3/8. Beautiful marbled carbon fiber scales on this one. It is a ball bearing flipper. Flips great. Don't have to worry about the lock bar because it's a liner lock. It just like jumps out all on its own. Lockup's got some slip. I think you can see it. And here it doesn't disengage, but it definitely slips down the radius a little bit. Blade centering is perfect. So these are $178 web retail, but they're gone. Can't buy one. They're out of stock everywhere. We're going to do this one like new in box. $130 like it is, $160 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Maxace MRK05 Rock. Next up, here's a knife I didn't love when I first saw it, but the more I've handled these over the last couple of years, the more I kind of like them. It's from Kershaw, and it's one of the made in USA launch series of automatics. It's the Launch 13 model 7650. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan myself of the industrial stylized handle style, but it's so squared away. It's a button lock automatic, no safety, don't need one. Superb action. Got a 2-tone Wharncliffe blade in CPM 154. That is 3 7/16 inches in length. Handle's just 4.5. Where this knife really shines is when you put it in your hand. That kind of odd handle works so well. And that big old swedge and that Wharncliffe blade looks great. Got the in-house design maker's mark. Nice little run of jimping. The lockup's rock solid. The centering is dead. Condition near mint to like new in box. Ambidextrous tip-up deep carry clip, by the way. Yeah. These are available brand new at your favorite web retailer for $135. Let's just do on this one. All in, shipped by Priority Mail, $105. Like new in the box. $130 if you like it with an Apostle P edge. It's the Kershaw Launch 13. Next up, we go from Kershaw to ZT. They are imploring us is zero tolerance to experience it. Well, what we're going to experience here is a ZT0452CF. Dmitry Sienkiewicz designed. You have a carbon fiber show-side scale. You have a stonewashed titanium frame with, I think that's a Lynch deep carry titanium pocket clip, and the original is not present. Okay. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. It's a big old knife, guys. 4 1/8 inches of S35VN in this case. Now, this does have a polished edge. It's got some spots of no cleanup of the original edge finish, so I'm going to offer a sharpened price, but if you're going to use it, it doesn't need me. Okay? So 4 1/8 blade, 5 1/8 handle, rock solid lockup, engaged thusly. Action is just fine on the ball bearings, blade centering down the middle. Flips great. Condition on this, we will say, oh, near mint in box. Price of these brand new, Minimum advertised pricing is $272 web retail. Let's do this one with a pretty nice edge on it for $220 like it is, $245 with an Apostle P edge. The ZT0452CF. Next up, we have one from the Benchmade Knife Company. It is the Osborne 928 Proxy, an S model. As most of you know, the Proxy was Warren Osborne's last knife designed for Benchmade, released after his death, thus the name. And what makes this one interesting is that it has a combo edge. So you get a blade of CPM 20 CV. What is that, about 3 9/16 inches in length? You've got a show side scale of kind of an FDE G10, 3D machined and satin finished. Bead blasted titanium frame side. And this has the adjustable steel insert, or the Benchmade monolock. So you can see that insert is hex shaped, each facet a different distance from center, so you can adjust where the knife locks up. So this one is adjusted perfectly because it's early and it has zero slip. But sometimes steel on steel with a radiused blade tang, you'll get a little slip down to the flat part, but not this one. We're perfect on this. Got a little bit of evidence of carry. The polished split arrow clip is ambidextrous tip up. And it does have a real nice polished edge on it. Not on the serrations. Those are completely fine from the factory. So there's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Centering is very close. Condition will say excellent in box. These have been discontinued and out of stock for a long time. There's one eBay listing current, not a sold listing, a current listing that's a buy it now at $325. Let's do this one at $260. No need to sharpen. The Benchmade 928S Proxy. Next up, in our second and final Benchmade in tonight's sale, it is a 583 SBK Barrage. Well, that's an interesting model number, isn't it? So this would be, the base Barrage with the full Grivery scales, no aluminum bolsters, Parkerized split arrow, ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip, axis assist mechanism. So an axis lock with a spring to propel the blade after you get it started. It is a Tanto with a combo edge and a really nicely done polished edge on that Tanto. I didn't do it, but it sure could have been me. Blade steel is 154 cm, 3 5/8 inches long, a 4 3/4 handle. Lockup is dead rock solid. The action is axis assist beautiful, and the blade centering is perfect. Condition near mint in box. These are currently available in this configuration for web retail or map pricing of $198. And this has some nice sharpening work done, and we're selling it for $130. The Benchmade 583 SBK Barrage Tanto. Next up, it is GEC time. We've got several of them, and first among them is this one. What a great looking tube label. The Johnny on the Spot Journeyman Electrician Knife, model 53E323 in Cocobolo. The knife comes with the button, and here it is, guys. This is a Titty knife, but man, it looks like a Northfield. Gorgeous shield with the lightning bolt, lined bolsters, and a very cool blade set. The main blade is this electrician's implement. Screwdriver at the end. And then this portion of the blade is sharpened right here. This has a closed length of 4 1/16. That main implement is on a liner lock. And then the secondaries are, whoops, a lot of oil on this one. Sheep's foot. And another sheep's foot. If I had to rate the pull weight, I would say that's a 7.5. With great walk and talk, everything's aligned beautifully. Condition is like new in the tube. These are, of course, gone. Sold listings on eBay between $231 and $263 in Cocobolo. Let's do this one at $220 like it is, $260 with Apostle P edges on all three of those implements, the two sheep's foot blades and the main. That is the GEC Titty number 53 Johnny on the Spot Electrician. Next up, another piece of Titty cutlery from Great Eastern. It's the model 562123EO in jigged natural linen micarta. So it is a 56 dogleg jack Titty. This will be in your inventory as GEC Titty 56 dogleg jack jigged linen. Okay, look at that. That linen micarta jigs beautifully. Bare end, plain bolster, nice shield, easy open notch, cam tang action, spear point blade, satin with no etch, just a long drawn swedge and a nail neck. Nice cam tang walk and talk. About a 7 pull, 3.5 inches in length. We will say, let's see, centering's about perfect on this one. Let's say like new in tube. Let's do 160 like it is, 180 with an Apostle P edge. The GEC Titty number 56 dog leg jack jigged linen. Next up, why so specific in that last description? Well, because of this one. Another Great Eastern from Northfield Unexcelled Premium Pocket Knives. It is another 56 dogleg jack, model 562123EO in Chechen Rosewood. The difference is this is a Northfield and it's in Rosewood. Yes. So we have that same 3.5 inch closed length, number 56 dogleg jack. The rosewood on this thing is gorgeous. Lined and pinched bolster, bare end, cloud shield, single spear on the easy open notch, long pull cut swedge polished blade. About a 7 pull, maybe a 7.5 on the cam tang. Nice walk and talk. Centering is very close, but I think favors the right slightly. Absolutely like new in the tube. Your price on this one, $175 like it is, $195 with an Apostle P edge. That's the GEC Northfield number 56 dogleg jack in Rosewood. Next up, this is just a cool package, the tube and the knife. So a Great Eastern cutlery from the Titty line. It is the number 59 Schaefer Farm Whittler, model 592322 in Hummingbird acrylic. I'm not an acrylic fan, but I love the Hummingbird. So the 59 is a sleeve board, slender sleeve board, split back whittler. Notice the tapered center wedge spacer. The beautiful Hummingbird acrylic. The main blade, as with all split back GEC whittlers, is on a cam tang. It's about a 7 pull. Spear point blade, nail neck, and a deep cut swedge. Nice walk and talk. Secondaries are on half stops, coping, and a pen. Closed length is 3 9/16. Walk and talk and centering all beautiful on this one. It's like new in the tube. Let's do 175 like it is, and 215 I sharpen all 3 blades. The GEC Titty number 59 Schaefer Farm Whittler Hummingbird. Next up, we have another 59 Whittler. This will be a Northfield model 592322 in Sambar Stag. And here you go. Some pretty righteous hunks of stag on this 59. There is the mark side, and there's the pile side. Check that out. Yummy. Nice match, too. So you've got a sleeve board pattern, true split back Whittler from Great Eastern. 3 9/16 inches of closed length. Spear main, nail nick, big cut swedge, polished blade on a cam tang, about a 7 pull. Nice walk and talk. Secondaries on half stops. Got a pen and a coping blade. Everything's centered up beautifully. Lined bolsters on this one. Condition we're going to call like new in the tube. Of course, you can't buy a new one. You can buy this one though, with those gorgeous stag covers. 220 bucks like it is. 260. I sharpen all 3 blades. That's the GEC Northfield number 59 Schaefer Farm Whittler. Next up, a Northfield knife from Great Eastern Cutlery, special factory order for collector knives. It's an 852118 EO, number 85 bullet end jack, in blood red jigged bone. Look at that. Corset shield, lined and pinched bolsters. Gorgeous bone on this one. You've got your big old 85 spear. Now this one does have a little bit of patina. Long match striker, pull, cut swedge. Stunning walk and talk. It don't get any better than that. Centering is down the middle. Condition is near mint and tube, patina noted. These are unobtainium, guys. You can't find them. Let's do 250 on this one, 270 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Northfield number 85 bullet end jack. Next up, we have another 85, but this is a fun one. It's a Titty and it is a crown lifter 85. Model 852221 CL in cherry natural smooth bone. Oh, and it comes with an 85 crown lifter button. Here's the knife. So same 85 teardrop jack shape. Look at that natural bone with the cherry die. Gorgeous. Pop bottle shield. And then you've got a main spear with the crown lifter etch. Long pull cut swedge. About maybe a 7.5 on this one. Yeah. Then you've got a secondary implement that is a screwdriver and a cap lifter. Beautiful example. Centering appears to be about dead. Maybe a little off on the cap lifter. It is like new in the tube. Let's do 190 on this one like it is. 210 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Titty number 85 crown lifter. Next up, another one from Great Eastern, and it's a Titty Ute. It is a 922219 Eureka Jack in elderberry jigged bone. What a beautiful example. Look at the way that die pops. That's the best looking set of elderberry covers I've seen. Sort of the truncated gimp shield, the little taper in it. Plain bolsters and end caps. Main spear. Satin, no etch. This is just an all business knife. About a 6 pull on this one. And it feels like a custom. It does. It's just so smooth and perfect, man. So yeah, 3 11/16 inches in closed length. Main spear, secondary coping blade. You got that back spring that wraps all the way around for the secondary side. I'm going to call this one near mint in tube. Sold listings on eBay on this configuration of the Eureka between 210 and 227. Let's do 200 on this one. 230 with an Apostle P edge. The GEC Titty Ute, number 92 Eureka Jack. Next up, in our last Great Eastern Cutlery knife in tonight's sale. Ooh, it's a GEC brand. Stainless 440C. It is a 99 Wall Street, model 990118 in American Chestnut. It is a lockback Wharncliffe. Now the satin finish, which they do because of how the chestnut reacts to abrasives, also carries into the nickel silver, and you're always going to get a little tarnish when you satin finish your nickel silver hardware, and we've got that on this one. There is your 440C Wharncliffe blade. So the 99 is 3 13/16 inches in closed length. Beautiful action on this one. Nice positive snick. You get a little bit of vertical play. There might be it's so slight though, guys. Very slight. Nice suck in. Don't see through the lock bar at the cutout. It's just beautiful. Nicely done. We'll call it near mint in tube, and you can't find these guys. Just be happy to pay $230 for this one, $250 if you'd like it sharpened, and enjoy your Wall Street. The GEC Acorn, number 99 Wall Street. Next up, got one from Tucson, designed and made in Yangjiang, China. You've heard me say this before, but if you're going to sell Chinese knives, just be honest about where they come from. You go, Tucson. So here we go. It's the TS301. It kind of looks, the handle looks kind of Georgie to me. I don't know. So you got a titanium frame lock, big beefy slabs, and then you got edges revealed and thin scales in natural canvas with sort of carbon fiber faux bolsters. Interesting how they attach the lock bar insert through that carbon fiber. Pretty cool. Milled titanium pocket clip, right hand tip up only. Ball bearing action and thumb studs. Sort of a harpoon clip in 14C28N, 3.5 inches of blade, 4 5/8 inches of handle. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Blade centering is down the middle. I'm going to call condition near mint. There are some fine scratches from use in that satin, but no biggie. So these are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $95 web retail. Let's do this one at $70 shipped priority mail. $95 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the Tucson TS301. Next up, got one from Kaiser. A White Mountain Knives exclusive. It is the V3593E1 Tozer K Mini. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in that name, wouldn't you say? So this White Mountain exclusive comes in what they call Chocolate Glacier Richlight. Pretty cool material. Looks a lot like paper micarta. If they hadn't told me it was chocolate, I would have said OD, but it is chocolate. Pocket clip, ambidextrous, deep carry, kind of a black oxide finish. It is a button lock manual with an opening hole and ball bearings. The blade on the Tozer Mini is CPM 3V, 3 inches in length, 4.5 inches of handle. Nice ergos. Rock solid lockup. Perfect blade centering. Some very fine scratches in the blade from a little bit of use. And a nice polished edge. I'm not even going to offer a sharpened price on this one. I don't think it needs it. So these are out of stock at White Mountain. When they were available, they were $99. This one can be yours $75 shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. The Kaiser V3593E1 Tozer K Mini. Next up, our second Vosteed of the night. Comes in that there box with a tin inside. There it is. The model is the RC3SVM17 Raccoon White Mountain exclusive. Pretty cool little pocket knife. The scales are a frag pattern blue canvas micarta. It's a button lock manual with thumb studs and a ball bearing pivot. Deep carry polished ambidextrous tip up pocket clip. Nice spear point blade. Again, a little bit of fine scratches in that blade face from use. Your blade steel on the Raccoon is 14C28N, 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 3/8 inches of handle. Rock solid lockup, superb ergos, and perfect blade centering. Let's see. You've got a tip up deep carry ambidextrous pocket clip with a fill tab. Condition on the Raccoon will be near mint in box. These were $59 at White Mountain, but they gone. Let's do $45 on this one like it is, 70 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Vosteed Raccoon. Next up, you know, I was having this conversation with my buddy Peter last night. We got an Emerson knife, and we were talking about things you buy not so much because of the thing, but because of the guy. Yeah, Ernest Emerson, just one of the great guys in the history of the knife world. And this is one of his classics. It's an A100 SF, just an old school Emerson. You've got that brand new sheen of black G10 that comes just, it seems like Emerson is the only G10 that looks like this. You've got the Parkerized Emerson clip with the maker's mark stamped into it. I love that. Thumb disc only opening, slim profile in the pocket. It's got a saber ground spear point blade, saber ground on the primary bevels, and then chisel ground at the edge. Blade steel is 154 cm, blade length is 3 9/16. Handle on the A100 is 4 13/16. Nylotron washers, thumb disc deployment, titanium lock bar. That sounds like it. Nice smooth Nylotron action. Blade centering is pretty doggone close to perfect. Don't let the saber ground edge throw your eye off. It's nicely done. It is an open pillar A100, not the backspacer. Like new in the box. They're out of stock new. I found one sold listing on eBay for $208, and it was kind of a turd. This one can be yours, $249, like it is $274 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Emerson A100 SF. Next up, here's a pretty cool knife from Urban EDC Supply. This is funny. It's the Monaco, which is spelled M-O-N-A-C-O, but they misspelled it on the label on the box. Titanium handle, M390 blade, stone wash finish on the blade. And check out this little gem. What a great little gents folder that is. Blue anodized, beautifully engraved titanium handle. Tip up ambidextrous titanium spring clip, deep carry. Look at that tiny little flipper tab, and it works, man. There you go. Sort of a faux dagger grind. The only sharpened edge is this one right here. It is a titanium liner lock, and the color of that handle is called Cobalt in Urban EDC's website. It is a ball bearing flipper, Yen's Anso design. Let's see. Action is perfect. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. And I think the centering is perfect as well. Sure looks like it. We'll call this one near mint in box. These are out of stock at Urban EDC Supply. You can buy this one though for 150 bucks. Like it is, 170 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Urban EDC Monaco. Next up, it's big knife time, guys. It is big knife time. Two of these from Work Tough Gear. Okay? Work Tough Gear. And the first one we're going to look at is the 7-inch Puzon Wilderness Bowie. You can see it comes in a beautifully made, maker's mark embossed, fold over Kydex sheath, but there's no attachment. Oh, there are attachments. You get a tech lock, you got a whistle, you got a patch, you got some paracord, everything you need right in there. Let's see, how's that sheath work? Just a tiny bit of rattle. Nice positive thumb brake. And here you go, guys. They're calling this a black wash. Okay. What a great looking Bowie blade. The blade steel on this is SK85. The blade is 7 inches long. The handle's 6 3/16. OD green G10 3D machine and blasted finish. Superb in the hand. I mean, pretty doggone nice. And this has a user applied polished edge and it's smoking. Yeah. Very, very nicely made. These are out of stock. When these were available, this configuration is out of stock. They had a web retail of 200 bucks, brand new. This can be yours, all in, shipped priority mail, 150 bucks, no need to sharpen. That's the Work Tough Gear 7-inch Puzon Wilderness Bowie. That is a nice fixed blade. Next up, we got more from Work Tough Gear. More from Work Tough Gear. Another big old box. Look at that thing. And inside this one is the 9-inch Puzon Wilderness Bowie. This is going to come in a green fold-over Kydex sheath. This one, kind of a little bit of rattle. And let's see, you get the bag of goodies, tech lock, whistle, paracord, attachment screws. Right. Let's see, got a little thumb brake, works great. Oh, look at this, guys. This one in satin finished, bidirectional satin finished, SK85, a 10 1/4 inch blade. They say it's 9 inch, but that's measuring back to the beginning of the handle. And then that handle is 6 1/4. And the material is OD green and black layered G10 with red liners. Just super cool. This one also has a beautiful polished edge, convex. Got a little bit of a black spot right there, but it just needs to be used a little. We'll call this near mint in box. I think these are in stock at a couple websites for a web retail of $260. This one can be yours. Near mint in box, $210. Shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. Nice convex edge on this knife. Beautifully done. So $210 all in, shipped priority mail on the Work Tough Gear 9-inch Puzon Wilderness Bowie. Oh. Next up, from Three Rivers Manufacturing. It is a Neutron 2 in deep blue sea micarta, or not. I don't think there's any deep blue sea micarta in here. No. This has been scale swapped, and look, your O-rings and stuff, extra screws are in here. It's been scale swapped for carbon fiber. Which is way better than deep sea. Yeah, here you go, guys. Finely milled carbon fiber for grip. Titanium deep carry pocket clip. No O-rings installed, they're in the baggie. Great action. 20 CV blade. 3 inches in length. 4 1/16 handle. Polished edge applied by the owner, and it is smoking sharp. Look at that beautiful blade centering. Perfect detent, phosphor bronze washers, great thumb studs, rock solid lockup. Everything is so squared away. We'll call this near mint in box. Let's see, let's do 195 on the Neutron. 195, no need to sharpen. Next up, from Spyderco, we have a paramilitary 2, just a paramilitary 2. And it started life as an S30V, satin finished, PJ, black G10 paramilitary 2. However, we are rocking some sharp dressed knives, satin finished, smooth carbon fiber scales. And is that, I think that's a Casey Lynch titanium deep carry pocket clip. Satin finished in titanium. Opens beautifully. Has a polished edge. I don't know. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but don't feel compelled, okay? Let's see. No blade play. Almost a free dropper. Totally centered up. I'm going to call it near mint in box. Your price, $125 like it is, $150 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Pair 2 plus custom scales in your description. Next up, it is Chris Reeve time, and that brings us to the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Comes in that box. It is a small Sabenza 31. Plain, sort of. Birth card says it's a drop point in S45VN, born October 27th, 2021. It's going to come with, not installed, the optional foo-foo lanyard and a fill tab and a screw, in case you'd like to use it. Here is the knife. You can tell it has been practiced with. A little bit of wear on the top of the thumb stud just from the meat of one's hand. This one is wearing a really nice polished edge. Let's see. Not quite free dropping, but nice. It can probably be done better than that. Let's see. I'm not right-handed, and it's a right-handed knife. There's your lock engagement, right where you want it. It's rock solid. Silky smooth. Perfect centering. Extremely minimal carry wear. A little bit of a rub right there. But really, really nice. We'll call it near mint in box, polished edge noted. These are out of stock. They have crept up to $425 web retail, brand new. This one can be yours, $350 all in, shipped priority mail. The Rob's Pick, a Chris Reeve small Sabenza 31 PJ with a polished edge. Next up, More from the Chris Reeve Knives Company. Another small 31, but this is a UG, a unique graphic small Sebenza 31. Birth card says it is a drop point in S35VN, 59 to 60 Rockwell, unique graphic, born October 21st, 2020. It's going to come with the Chris Reeve pocket slip. Think twice, cut once. Is wearing the up-level lanyard. And look at that unique graphic. Don't know what they called that, but it is cool. Very minimal wear, just a little shiny spot on the edge of that clip. It's also wearing what they call a polished blade, which is a satin. So these will generally be a little thinner behind the edge than the all stonewash blade, because they take a stonewash blade and then they take a little more material off. Rock solid lockup, engage like that. Nice. Nice. We will say near mint in box. These are, of course, gone, as always. When they were available, they were $5.25 web retail. We're going to do this one at $4.25, like it is. $4.50 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is Chris Reeve Small Sebenza 31 unique graphic. Next up, we have moved now to the watch portion of tonight's sale. The first one is the first one of these I've had in my hand, and it's so cool. I am not a 70s vibe guy when it comes to watches, but this is cool. It is a Tissot, and let's see. It is the PRX Powermatic 80. Very, very cool. You see the integral bracelet. So let's see, dimensions. 43 millimeters diameter. 44 lug to lug, but that's not counting that sort of fixed first link. Thickness is 11, and we won't post a lug width because it's a proprietary integral lug design. So it's got that Swatch Powermatic 80 movement, which is an extended power reserve version of the ETA 2824 with 80 hours of power reserve. They do that by slowing down the beat rate to 3 Hertz. Look at that very cool blue waffle dial with a sunray. Date at 3. Butterfly clasp. Display case back. Very nice package. It's still sized rather large, but I think there's a couple extra links in the box. And it's very near mint, just a couple of little desk diver scratches in the brushing on the bracelet. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch for not a lot of money. Let's see. These are running between... I found them at Joma Shop for $5.75. Most retailers online have them for $7.25. This one can be yours near mint in box for $400. That is the Tissot PRX automatic watch. Let's put him back on his pillow. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Next up, it is G-Shock time. G-Shock time. Oh, yeah. Check this out, guys. This would be one of them save me from myself moments. You got your cool G-Shock box, you know, better than your normal G-Shock box. And I got a hang tag that says, this is the GW 5610 UBC 1JF square. Okay. So, you got a G-Shock square. You've got multiband 6. You've got the thick milled stainless steel case back and the old style combi bracelet with the intermediate, the center links, actually metal. I have a later version and the center links are not metal. I love the clasp. It's like a PVD coated steel, but that center rectangle that says G-Shock is polymer, and it very much protects that clasp from wear. It's awesome. All pressed, but who cares? Negative display, as you can see. And this watch is super nice condition, near mint to like new in box. Let's see, let's do $100 on this one. $100, $168 on Amazon, by the way. The G-Shock GW5610 UBC1JF square. Next up, oh, these are so cool for no money. Another G-Shock, and the hang tag says it's a GMAS 2100 7A Cassiope in white. Yeah, a white Cassiope. How about that, guys? Look at that little stunner. Got your 5811 module and a digi display. Beautiful, bright. Are those applied indexes? They sure look like it. So cool. I mean, so cool. White resin strap. Let's see, these are 99 bucks brand new, and this one is near mint to like new in the box. Let's do it at $50 shipped priority mail. The G-Shock GMA S2100-7A Cassiope in white. The Cassiope would be the fan designation for this watch because it resembles a royal oak. Pretty cool. And that brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. And what a cool one this is. This is truly a save me from myself moment. I mean, truly. I love this brand. So it comes in a nondescript white box. There's your Scurfa watches inner box. It is a Scurfa watch. So a California-based brand founded by an actual professional diver who thought maybe there needed to be high-quality dive watches that were beaters. They weren't super expensive, that you could rely on, and if you wrecked one on a rock, you could just go buy another one. This is the Scurfa Diver 1 in kind of the OG configuration, meaning steel case, quartz movement. A beautifully made steel case. Screw down case back, screw down crown, and a water resistance rating of 500 meters, which is interesting because they've now branched out into automatics and even titanium cases. I think those are only 300. So this original design is so cool. So you've got a matte blue dial, a blue aluminum bezel insert, aluminum pip at 12. Let's see, 42 diameter, 48 lug to lug, just 13.5 thick, 20 millimeter lug width, bezel action, beautiful. I mean beautiful. Lines up perfectly. Date is not present. It is a no date watch. The crystal is, I think, a single dome sapphire. So at very oblique angles you get some distortion, but when you're looking at it at a normal angle, even slightly off kilter, super legible. The seconds hand doesn't hit every tick, but it tries real hard. Screw down crown works beautifully. Nice pop. Easy to thread. Let's see, the factory strap is Scurfa branded, and it says genuine rubber, and it smells like vanilla. How about that? You also get, I forget the name of these, Marine Nationale, I believe. Is that right? So this is an elastic. And how does that work? Let's see, something like that, maybe. I don't know. There. That's how they work. Single pass. Beautiful. Super comfy. Yeah. The loom on this watch. Now, if you see, the loom plops are printed on the dial, and I'm wearing my Damasco DS30 with the same kind of execution. And frankly, on my Damasco, the edges are kind of fuzzy. The same you could say might be true of this, and it's not spectacular. When you charge it up and walk outside at night, it'll light up the inside of your hand, but it's not like a beacon like my Seamaster. However, man, it lasts a long time. It's just super well executed watch. It's a tool watch. It is well done. Anyhow, I couldn't really find any sold listings for this watch. They're kind of hard to find, but it can be yours at $200, shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen on the Scurfa Diver 1 Quartz watch. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Now I'm going to go look over my gear and get ready for tomorrow's ride. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.